again if not. Okay, so we are on page 79 in the grammar book. We are talking about adverbs today. Good news is you already know about those. You've been using them in your writing already. So now you're going to start finding them in your book for grammar. An adverb modifies a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. An adverb tells how, when, where, why, and to what extent. So this is the part that they're suggesting you memorize so that you know how to find an adverb. A lot of times, almost 100% of the time, it has an ly, like how you guys use in your writing, ly adverb. Sometimes it doesn't have an ly, but a lot of times it does. So it says to memorize here how, when, where, why, and to what extent. Okay. An adverb often ends in ly, so this is how you're going to mark it. You're going to put an ly on top of it. Here's your example in the middle of the page right here. The dwarf respectfully bowed. He was exceedingly grateful. Okay, so the ly here, respectfully, tells how he bowed. And you guys know what a bow is, right? Like if you ever, yeah, there you go, Christopher. He gave us So if you're on stage, you just did a performance, people are clapping. A lot of times that's when people bow. But sometimes, in other cultures, in Asian cultures, they bow as a greeting. In America, we shake hands or we do a fist bump or hug or something like that. In other countries like Asia, they actually bow as a greeting. Okay. So respectfully bowed and then exceedingly grateful. This one modifies an adjective because grateful is describing the person. He was grateful. He was exceedingly grateful. So, but you see the ly, you just write ly on top of it. It's pretty easy to find these in this book. Down here under ly adverb, it says an ly adverb dresses up writing when it creates a strong image or feeling. Look for ly adverbs in this book and write them on the ly adverb collection page, Appendix 2. Now, you don't have to do that, but if you think that kind of sounds fun, there's a page in the back of your grammar book where you can actually keep a list of ly words that you like. When you're reading a book or you're reading a article or something in your class, maybe a different class like your history book or something, and you see an ly word, you go, hey, I really like that word. You can make a list on the back of this grammar book with all your ly words. It says Appendix 2. So if you want to see where that's at, I see Olivia looking back there. Appendix 2 is all the way in the back here. It looks like this. Page 189. So if you like that idea, you can use this page and keep a list for yourself to use in your writing. Okay? You don't have to do that, but if you like that idea, go for it. All right, so now we're going to move to the practice page. This is page 81. Page 81. Does anybody want to volunteer to read this page? Okay, Olivia. Thank you.
The first soldier returned to his friends. He was upset and sheepishly told them the story.
Good. That word is sheepishly. That's kind of a funny word. But do you know what sheepishly means? When you say sheepish, it means like shy. I don't know if you know sheep, but they can be pretty shy and like skittish, meaning like they're scared or shy. When you go up to them, they don't know what to do, right? They're kind of funny animals like that. So sheepishly is telling like how he told the story. He told it kind of like in a shy way or kind of in a nervous way, like a sheep. All right, so let's check vocabulary. And then the articles a and the, and there's two of them. So go ahead and find them by yourself and label those. Those are pretty easy. All right, moving on to nouns. Lacey, where are the four, or there's three nouns actually.
The soldier
Good,
and the friends and the story.
good. Soldier, friends, and store. Good job. Um, Christopher or Olivia, do you have a question?
Sheepishly is actually the ly adverb in this story.
Yeah, you gave it away. That's exactly right, though. You got it. We can do that. We can just put ly on top of that. Very good. Okay, and Christopher, how about the pronouns? You know where those are?
He
Good.
and his.
He actually his sometimes is a pronoun, but the way it's here, it's telling whose friends. So this becomes an adjective. So not here. There's another word though that is a pronoun. Do you see it?
Them.
Them. There you go. That's a pronoun. Good. So it's he and them. Um, we kind of gave away one of the adjectives. So let's just put ADJ on top of his because that's telling whose friends. So that becomes an adjective. And then Liana, do you know where the other two adjectives are?
Um,
It helps if you look at like the noun soldier and if you ask yourself like which soldier?
the
It's
first.
the first. There you go. So first is an adjective. It's telling which one, the first one. And then there's another word, there's another adjective that tells how he was feeling. Do you see a word that describes how he was feeling in the second
Upset.
sentence? Say it again.
Upset.
Yes, upset. Good. That's an adjective. It's describing how he was feeling. Okay. Um, okay, good. Put a check there. And we already, Olivia helped us find the ly word. We already put ly there. So we got that. How about the coordinating conjunction? Do you guys remember what that is? Mariah, do you know what the coordinating conjunction is? I'll give you a clue here. I want you guys to write in fanboys. Remember fanboys? I know it was a while ago when we actually did these. Mariah might be gone for a second. So how about Olivia? Do you remember what fanboy stands for? Or she's looking.
Um,
That's okay. You can look.
For and nor but or yet so.
Good, Mariah. You got it. Is that what you were going to say too, Lacey? I saw your hand go up there. Okay, good. So Mariah, since you're there, can you turn your camera on or are you having issues with your camera? That way I know oh, yeah, your camera's not working. Okay, never mind. Oh, there you are. Okay. So where is the coordinating conjunction in that sentence?
Mm, mm, and
Yes, good. You must have a list somewhere on your learning wall right there. That's a great idea to do that. I love it. If you guys ever want to see how she's looking back on her wall, if you want, you can actually write this out, what fanboys is, coordinating conjunctions, and then you can use your wall to help you remember. Okay. Oh, wow, look at that. You got a bunch of stuff on there. Whoa. That is so, so cool. I love it. She's got posters all over that wall. I bet it helps you a lot, huh, Mariah? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. Okay, so now we've got prepositional phrases, but I always like to leave those till the end because it's easier. So let's get down here to the verbs, the subject verb pairs. So we'll start with verbs. So Olivia, help us find some verbs here.
the verbs are returned and was upset.
Was Upset is actually an adjective. We already labeled that one as an adjective. It's describing a feeling. So there's one more though. See the other verb?
But there's only 2 subject-verb pairs.
Yeah, I know that's a little tricky. So basically there's 2 subjects, but there's more than 2 verbs. Because sometimes there's like 2 verbs that go with the same subject. And that's the case here. You've got returned, and then you've got was, but yes, told, actually. Is that what you said, told?
I said 2, but told.
Yeah. So told is the verb. It's like when you're saying words with your mouth, you're doing an action, right? So told is a verb. Okay, good. So then Lacey, how about the subject? So look at the first verb here. We've got returned. Who is it that returned to his friends?
The soldier.
Good. That's one subject. And then the second sentence, what's the second subject? Who was upset?
He was upset.
He. Good. So that is also a subject. Good. That's both of them. Now, did you guys notice that the word to is spelled wrong? Did you notice that, Christopher? So Christopher, let's fix that really quick. How should we spell to?
T-O.
Good. It's super easy peasy cheesy, right? T-O, not T-O-O. And so, Liana, how about the prepositional phrase? Do you see it now? Which one is it? The only word that doesn't really have a label. I mean, we fixed to, but the word to doesn't have a label on it yet. So that's your clue that it's a preposition. So it's going to start with to, and it's going to end on a noun. So what is the phrase, Liana? Starts with to, stops on the first noun.
To his friends?
Yes, good. To his friends. Right here. That's the prepositional phrase. Good job. And then Mariah, where do we capitalize letters? We need some capitalizations here.
The beginning and T.
And then where's the other one?
T.
Good, because that's another beginning of a sentence. How about the end mark, Olivia? What do we put at the end of the sentence?
A period.
Period. Good. And then we already fixed the homophone. That was the word to. So we got it. Good job, you guys. Okay, we're done with grammar. So you can put that aside and get out your binders now. And, you know, it's been a while since we had class. So we're just going to put away the week that we were working on last year, right? That was so last year. We're in 2024 now. So you can put away the little red hen. That's what we were working on way long ago. That's week 8, the little red hen. So go ahead and put that behind finished compositions. Oh, I almost forgot. There's a pink page. Do you guys see that? That pink page from the little red hen, that goes behind stylistic techniques. This one.
We were putting away the little red hen?
We're putting it away. Yeah. So put away the pink page first. It goes behind stylistic techniques. That's the list of ly adverbs. So we want to keep that behind stylistic techniques. Olivia?
I already put mine away. I thought we did that last time.
Oh, did you guys already put it away? Oh, good. Okay, then never mind. Did you already put out the next one?
Yeah, we already have deserts in our new one.
Yeah.
Pockets?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I forgot.
We have it right here.
It's been a while. I can remember. Okay. Oh, yeah. And we already started talking about it, didn't we? Okay. Okay. I'm with you now. Gotcha. Let's see.
Do we get out desert?
Get out deserts from your front pocket. You should also have one that looks like this. Do you have that one?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay, yay. I found it too. Yeah, get that out. I forgot we already started talking about it.
Get which ones out?
Get out deserts. It looks like this. This is week 9. It should be in your front pocket, actually, because everybody's reminding me that we already got it out. I was like, wait a second. And then if you have this one too, Lacey, get this one out too. Those are our notes that we started to take. Oh, I'm so glad because I was worried about getting through it all today, but we got this now. We already started it. So we're just going to take a look at this notes first. Give me a thumbs up if you have this page. Good. Yay, everybody's with me. Do you have this, Christopher? Or did he disappear? Oh, he's looking. Okay, I think he's looking. We're talking about Unit 4. That's why we moved into a new unit. Because remember back when we did Little Red Hen, that was the story sequence chart. Remember we talked about characters and setting and problem solution and all that stuff. But now we're doing more like academic writing. This is like a report. And so it's Unit 4 and it's called Summarizing a Reference. Remember how we talked about how summarizing has SUM, like in math, the sum of 2 plus 5 is 7, right? That's the sum. But really, it's SOME the way it's used in writing, because SOME means part of the information. You're not going to retell all of it.
Yeah.
Only part, okay? And so we're telling some information. That's what reference means, okay? And then we look for things that are important or relevant or interesting. We put a star by interesting because if you think it's interesting, more than likely the person reading your report will think it's interesting too. So that's kind of a good rule of thumb when you're writing a report to pick interesting information to put in your report. You guys remember this funnel we made right here?
Mm-hmm.
A funnel, good. I'm glad you remember it because a funnel is what we use when we're pouring liquid from a big container to a small container. We usually use a funnel so it doesn't spill everywhere, right? This is an example like for writing, if you have 20 different facts about something, but you only need 5, you're going to use this little funnel to pick just 5. That's all you need, right? You're going to pick things that are interesting on your report. And then down here, we made a little outline. Oh yeah, and we talked about the topic clincher. This is new. Yes, good, Lacey. I see you doing it. So see if you remember. It goes like this. Put your hand up like this, and then you can repeat it after me, okay? So the topic sentence
The topic sentence
and the clincher sentence
And the clincher sentence
must
must
repeat or reflect
repeat or reflect
2 or 3
2 or 3
key words.
key words.
Good. Okay, let's do it like together at the same time. Okay, ready, go. The topic sentence and the clincher sentence must
Must
repeat or reflect 2 or 3 key words. Nice, nice. Good job. I know there's a bunch of echoing going on, but that's okay. I liked how you guys did that with me. Okay, so that's something new. We're going to start in this unit this week. Now, we're talking about deserts, okay? And you'll see that we have a bunch of 3 articles. Just kidding, 2 articles. And they're 2 different deserts in the world. So the first one we're going to look at is the Sahara Desert. This is on page 73. Page 73 from that stuff from your front pocket. the Sahara Desert, so basically, okay, let me just remind you, your subject for your report is deserts. And then your topics are your paragraphs. And one of your paragraphs is going to be about one of the deserts, which is the Sahara Desert. Okay, so what I want you to do, because I'm going to read this right now, I want you to use your pen or your pencil, whichever you like using best, to underline sentences and information that you think is interesting about the Sahara Desert. Okay. Try not to underline everything. Some students are like, well, I like this and I like that. So they just underline the whole thing. Well, try not to do that because you only need to have 5 facts about the Sahara Desert. And there's probably like, if you look at the front and then there's more on the back. So there's probably like 20 things here. There's, information that you could use. Try to only pick 5 if you can. If you happen to pick 6 or 7, it's okay. You'll just pick from those, but you only need 5 facts about the Sahara Desert because we're going through a funnel, right? We got a lot of facts. We're only going to pick 5 of them. Try to pick the ones that you think are the most interesting, okay? So I'm going to start by reading the first paragraph, and with your pen or pencil, you're going to underline what you think is interesting, okay? Or important, because there are some important things that you should underline in here. Yeah. So in a desert, little rain or snowfall occurs, so living conditions are hostile. That just means they're rough, right? It's really difficult to live on a desert. The world's largest hot desert is the Sahara Desert. The world's largest cold desert is the Antarctic. The Sahara stretches across the whole African continent from the Atlantic Ocean to the Red Sea. Consisting mostly of vast and sand seas called ergs, this desert mysteriously shifts around all the time as if it were alive. I'm going to pause there for a second. So really, me, and you might have underlined something different, and that's okay, because this is just your opinion. I kind of thought right here, the world's largest hot desert is the Sahara Desert. I underlined that one.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. And then the sentence was interesting about the Antarctic, but I don't know if I need that because we're focusing on the Sahara, so I didn't underline that one, and I didn't underline the first sentence either. Because remember, we're picking 5 out of the whole thing. It's kind of hard to do. Yeah. So, but this part here, how big it is, the Sahara stretches across the whole African continent from the Atlantic Ocean to the Red Sea. That's huge. That's about this. It's actually a little bit bigger than the whole United States. That's one desert, the Sahara Desert, bigger than the United States. It's hard to imagine, huh? Let me show you really quick because I want to show you a picture on the internet of the world. Map of the world. Let me look this up really quick. So you can get an idea of how big the Sahara Desert really is. Pretty amazing. Okay. Now this map, okay, let me share my screen really quick. This map doesn't give like all of the states and stuff on it, but you can get an idea. I think, will it let me? Oh, there we go. Perfect. Let me move this down. Right here, North America, this is us. Right here, the United States, you can probably see Florida right here. And this is California. This is where we are on this side. And then way over here is Africa. This whole tan part right here is the Sahara Desert. And this is the Atlantic Ocean over here. And then right here, this is the Red Sea. So it said in the story or in the article, it stretches across the whole African continent from the Atlantic Ocean to the Red Sea. It's all of this. That's bigger than the United States. or maybe close to the same size. It's big. Like we have the Mojave Desert, right? You've probably been there before. And it seems like it's pretty big. But that's like a little tiny dot on California way over here. Just you can't even see it. And then here you got the Sahara Desert. So that just gives you an idea of how big it is. Okay. So I think that information is pretty interesting. I would include that on my report. So I underlined that.
Yeah.
And then this last part, I know we've already got 2. We got a lot more to read. It's going to be hard to pick just 5, but that's okay. We can have more than 5 at first, and then we'll have to narrow it down. But this part about the ergs and how it mysteriously shifts around all the time as if it were alive, that's crazy. That's like, I think they say that because the wind goes through there, and it looks like, if you've ever seen the movie Aladdin, and they're in a desert. I don't think it's the Sahara Desert, but when the wind blows, it moves the sand almost like water. It's like blowing over hills and stuff like that. So for this one, I think I like that part. I'm going to underline the second half of that sentence. Mysteriously shifts around as if it were alive. Okay, so I know we already have 3, but I have a hard time too because this is good stuff. So I like to include it. Okay. I'm going to keep reading. So you get the idea. As I'm reading, you're going to underline stuff that you think is interesting. The climate is severe. During the hot months, day temperatures soar to over 120 degrees Fahrenheit or 50 degrees Celsius. So like for you guys, if you live in Bakersfield or Ridgecrest, places like that, sometimes it'll get up to like 110 or 112. I don't think we've ever had 120. That's hot. That's like uncomfortable hot, right?
Because we have went to the park. It said the credit was 116.
Oh my goodness. Are you in Bakersfield?
No, it was like in a place so park. It
Okay.
was like really hot on that day. I was like,
It's awful when it's that hot. It's like you can't even breathe, huh? It's like so hot.
yeah, I got watermelon, but I was only a little bit.
Christopher, did you have something to say?
I can't find the desert people.
Uh-oh. Did I see your mom in there? Maybe she can help you find it. Oh, hi, Stacy.
Hi. So I don't know what happened, but there's parts of his binder over in different places.
No.
And he says he doesn't know what happened. And week 9 is missing, like the whole thing.
Oh no.
So
Okay.
that's what I'm doing.
Okay, so he can just look on the screen for now. And then I'll send you a copy after class if in case you can't find it. That way, at least he has it. I'll make a note of that. That's always a bummer. Hopefully you guys remember to close your rings. That happens sometimes. So make sure you get in there, close those rings up. Olivia, did you want to say something?
Have you ever been to Parker in Arizona? Because it's almost 100 and it's about 120 there.
Oh, I've never been there. Oh man, that sounds really bad.
It is hot as heck.
Sounds like it.
Even those water cups that are supposed to keep your water cold get like warm.
Oh my gosh, that's bad.
It's crazy.
That is crazy. Okay, I'm going to keep going here. So I'm going to keep going right here. If water runs underground near the surface, green, fertile places called oases appear. People can live near an oasis. So if it's more than one, it's oases with an E. And if it's one, it's called oasis with an I. On the shore of the Nile River that flows through Sahara, the ancient Egyptian civilization thrived. You guys probably heard about the Nile River and Egyptians and all that. You've probably studied about them before. Yeah, I see some of you nodding. It makes sense to live near the river because you definitely need water in a hot place like that. And then you need water to grow things too. So I think I'm going to underline part of this sentence where it says 120 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot. And then I think I'm going to underline, like, people can live near an oasis. And then on the shores of the Nile River that flows through the Sahara, I think I'm just going to leave that. But if you guys have different things underlined, that's okay. Basically, you're just picking things that you think is interesting. Okay. I'm going to keep going. Because water is scarce, only about 70 kinds of animals can survive in the Sahara. 70 sounds like a lot, but when you think about millions of animals that we have in the world, 70 is not that many. So, you know,
the other
animals.
30 half would survive.
Yeah, these animals can, well, it'll tell us more about it. So I'm going to keep going here. It says these creatures can live for long periods of time without water. I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Avoiding the horrific heat of the day. Vipers, do you guys know what a viper is? What's a viper?
Snake?
A snake, good. Lizards, sand foxes, and gerbils. Those are little rodents. They're kind of like hamsters. Stay on the ergs in their burrows. So I'm just going to underline all the animals here. Vipers, lizards, foxes, gerbils. Okay. And then there's a little more on the back. So I'm going to turn this over. Keep going, and then we'll talk about it. They obtain water in the foods they find at night. White gazelles and addax or screwhorn antelopes also roam on the dunes. I'm going to underline white gazelles and screwhorn antelopes. Amazingly, camels, of course, we need to underline that, which provide transportation in the Sahara, can go for nearly a week without water.
Crazy.
That's a long time without water. All right. So we kind of underlined some sentences and some parts of sentences. This is what you do when you write a report about something. You just kind of look for things that stand out to you and you just underline them. If it's in a book, you don't want to underline in a book, but you can put a little post-it in there. If you're ever doing a report on a book, you can put a little post-it and an arrow next to the things that you like about it. So what we're going to do next is build our outline. So go ahead and go back to your note page here, this one. And on the back of this page, let's build our outline, okay? So let me move this really quick out of the way. It's bugging me. Okay. This report, I want you to, you're going to do 2 paragraphs. So let's set it up here. At the top here, we'll put Roman numeral 1, and then I want you to write 1 through 6. I know I said 5, but I'm going to have you put 6 in parentheses because there was some good stuff in here. You might need 6, but you don't have to use 6. And then I want you to skip a line and do the same thing for Roman numeral 2. But put 6 in parentheses like that. Okay, so like I said earlier, your subject, this report is about deserts. And your topics go here in 1 and 2. So by the way, let's put topic here and topic here. This is both next to Roman numeral 1 and 2. So your first topic is the Sahara Desert. So in order to start your report, we kind of have to introduce that we're talking about deserts. So right here, I want you to put the word deserts with an S because we're going to end up talking about 2. But in this paragraph, we're going to focus on Sahara. Make sure you use a capital S because that is the name of the desert. And if we just take a peek back at the beginning of that article, that first part we underline here, it says the world's largest hot desert is the Sahara Desert. So I think I'm going to put largest right here. And then I'm going to draw like flames for hot. You probably can draw flames better than me, but those are flames in case you didn't know. Like a fire. Draw like a fire. So we have deserts, Sahara, largest, hot. That's a good start to your report. That's the topic. You're talking about the Sahara Desert. So now what we're going to do, by the way, I want to tell you that your keyword outline, your KWO here, can be different than mine. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. But I'm going to build this with you in class because we're going to take turns with ideas on what facts we can put here. But just know if you already know what you want to put, you can put it down. Okay. And it doesn't have to match mine. So I'm going to start with Lacey. Looking back at your article here, what is something else that you underlined about the Sahara Desert that you thought was interesting? It could be different than mine. So just let me know, what do you have underlined there, Lacey? Your mute button isn't working. What's going on? Weird. Oh, there you go. I think you got it.
That animals can live without water like a long time.
Yes, I got that too. That's at the bottom here. What if we tell a little bit more about like where the desert is first? So look more at the top of what you underlined. What do you have up there? You can probably just keep yourself unmuted since you're having an issue. There you
go. Across Sahara stretches across the whole African continent from the Atlantic Ocean to the Red Sea.
Yes, I think that would be a good thing to mention at the beginning, how big it is. Okay, I like that. That's a good one. I do want to mention the animals though later, because I think that's pretty interesting too. Okay, so let's put something like whole and then African sea. That's going to be for continent. Okay, the whole African continent. Actually, we have enough. We could put continent. Let's just write it out. And then west to east. How about that? West to east. That's just my idea. If you guys have a different way of doing that, do it the way you want. Doesn't have to match mine. But basically it's saying from the west to the east, like the whole continent, it's that big, like I showed you on the map. Good. Okay, Christopher, anything toward the beginning of that article that you want to add here on about Sahara? What else do you have underlined? What do you think we should put next?
Oh, I have anything underlined.
Oh, that's right. You don't have it. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to skip you then. You can just copy what I have here, okay? How about Olivia? What do you think we should mention next?
Mysteriously shifts around all the time as if it were alive.
Yeah, that is so weird.
Maybe mysteriously shift alive?
Okay, or I think we needed the word sand too. Because we're talking about pretty much like the sand does that. How about we start with sand and then what do you think we could put next? Because we'll have to pick two more words.
Sand mysteriously shifts.
I think so. Yeah. Good. This is where it gets a little tricky because we only have a few left. Well, we could use 6, so we have some more space here. But what about Liana? What's something else that you want to mention in your report? What else do you have underlined? Liana, are you looking?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe look for like how hot it gets, like the temperature.
120 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, 120 degrees. So that's how hot it gets. So what do you think? Should we put that for number 3? Yeah. 120. And then the symbol for degrees is like a little tiny O.
Yeah.
120 degrees. And then I don't know if we need the word Fahrenheit because that's really what we measure.
Yeah.
Temperature. What else could we say about like the climate? Maybe. Or what else do you have underlined about the weather or the climate? You know, and I didn't underline it, but I kind of think it's interesting how it talks about how it's severe. It's like the climate is severe. And then people live near the oasis.
Yeah.
I think because it's so hot, maybe we could mention that here. Do you like that idea, Liana?
Yeah.
Maybe we could draw a little person here. Live near, we could say they live near water. That would be good because that makes sense. It's 120 degrees, so people live near the water. It's just an idea I had, but if you guys want to put it different, you can. Okay, and then Olivia, what about the animals? We have a couple spots left. We can kind of move into that. I think that Lacey mentioned how they can live for a long time without water. I wonder if we should mention
Yeah.
that. You want to start there?
Creatures live or creatures live periods without water,
Okay.
long periods without water.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, what if we did creatures? Or maybe even instead of creatures, we could say animals.
Yeah, animals.
Either way. Okay. What if we did animals live long and then we could do a symbol for water and then like cross it out or something like that. What do you think, Olivia?
Maybe we could do animals live with like um an X and then water.
Okay. We could do the do you guys know the scientific symbol for water? H2O. Have you heard of that before? H2O? Yeah. Okay. Christopher says, yeah. What if we did live? Because I kind of like that word long. And then maybe H2O and we circle it and then we put a line through it like that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Animals live long, no water, without water. And then we've got a couple more lines here. So what if we start listing the animals, Mariah? What animals live in the Sahara? You can pick 3 of them. I know there's more than 3, but just pick 3, and you guys can pick whichever ones you want to write about. They don't have to be the same.
Viper.
Say it one more time.
Vipers.
Vipers. Okay, vipers. What else?
Foxes.
Foxes.
And camels.
And camel. Good. Now we have 6 in parentheses. If you really like mentioning the animals, you can list more animals here if you want, because there's others. So like Lacey, what other animals did they mention?
Lizard.
Lizard. Oh, is that Lacey? Let Lacey tell us here.
White gazelles.
White gazelles. Okay. We'll have to.
Screwhorn antelopes.
Yes. Oops. ELLES. I spelled that wrong. And the screwhorn antelopes. What if we put screwhorn and then ANT dot antelopes? Now you guys, and there's others, huh? What else did you see there, Lacey? Oh, we already mentioned camels, huh? Maybe that's all of them. I think we got it. Okay. I think this is good. If yours looks a little different than mine, that's great. Don't worry about that. There is another word I want you to put on here, though. And right next to the 6 here, I want you to put the word clincher. Now, I know this is new to you. So what I'm going to do is wait until you write your paragraph to then show you how you can do the topic clincher. Unless you want to try it in your homework, you can try it. Actually, I have some time. Maybe I'll give you an example. Let me just show you something really quick here.
Okay.
You don't have to write this down, but I'm going to give you an example of how you can make a topic clincher. Okay, so let's pretend for a second it's time to do your writing homework. You're sitting down with your outline. You got your checklist with you and you start writing. Okay, so I'm looking at Roman numeral 1. It says deserts, Sahara, largest, and hot. And I'm going to start by saying something like, you're going to start right here. Okay, let's pretend. You can just watch me. You don't have to write this down, okay? Just watch me do this. This is the date. And I'm going to leave it a space for my title, okay? Let's say I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to say, there are many deserts. There are many deserts, but the Sahara Desert is the hottest and largest in the world. We're just going to pretend that's my first sentence. You don't have to write this. If you want to write this, you can, if that helps you. There are many deserts, but the Sahara Desert is the hottest and largest in the world. Okay. I mean, there's other ways to say that. That's just came to my mind. And then just for the sake of showing you, let's pretend you just go on to the next one and I'm just going to scribble. Okay. We're going to write about, it stretches across the whole African continent, blah, 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 the African continent, and period. And then we're going to talk about how the sand mysteriously shifts, blah, 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 period. And then we go on. I'm just showing you because I want to show you something at the end. So pretend like you're writing your whole report. And you get to the very last sentence right here where you have clincher. I didn't actually write it. I scribbled. I don't want you to scribble. I want you to write it. But for the sake of time, you get to this last one. You have white gazelles, screwhorn antelopes. Okay. Other animals that live in the Sahara are the white gazelle and the screwhorn antelope. Okay, so this is what I want to show you. So pretend like you finished your paragraph. I got my first sentence and I got my last sentence. Now remember, the topic clincher rule says the topic sentence and the clincher sentence must repeat or reflect 2 or 3 key words. So we're going to focus only on the topic sentence, which is the first sentence, and the clincher sentence, which is the last sentence, okay? I'm looking for words that repeat. Did I repeat any words? Did I use any of the same words in the first sentence and the last sentence that you can see on here? Olivia?
Sahara.
Okay, let me hear Olivia.
I was gonna say Sahara.
Yeah, then I think that's what Mariah said too. So what I'm going to do is put a box around Sahara, and I'm going to put a box around Sahara here. Guess what? That's one that I repeated or reflect. Remember, reflecting is more like a synonym. It's not exactly the same word, but it's almost the same word. Okay. These repeat. Sahara, Sahara. So I got that. Now, I don't see any other words that I repeated. So here's what you have to do. You have to make sure you add one. Remember, we skip lines so you can add words if you need to. So another word I could maybe add here is maybe desert. I could add right here after Sahara, I could add the word desert, and then I have desert here. So then I can put a box around this one and a box around that one. And now I have 2. I have Sahara and desert that I repeated. So I'm good. That's all I need. I can do 3, but I don't have to. It's 2 or 3 key words. So you want to make sure they're keywords. I don't want you to put a box around the word the, because you noticed I have the there and I have the here, but I'm not going to use that as a keyword because the is not a keyword. You guys know what keywords are. So make sure when you're looking for your first sentence and your last sentence, put a box, or you can highlight. If you guys, I have one right here. This one. If you like to highlight, you can use a highlighter if you have one like this. That's okay. You don't have to use a box around it, but if you don't have a highlighter, then you just put a box around it. Lacey, did you have a question? She's unmuting. Oh, there we go.
Okay, do we have to do the first one right this week? Or
Yeah, you're writing only one paragraph. You're right. Is that what you're asking, Lacey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry about the second one yet. We're going to do that next week. You're just going to write this one paragraph. I know we're a little late, but let's look at your checklist really quick because I want to make sure you look at that. Hold on, let me find mine. Your checklist is on page 79. And it says here, one of the boxes at the top says topic clincher sentences, repeat or reflect 2 to 3 keywords. It says highlight or bold. Bold just means to make it darker. If you like doing that, you can make it, or you can put a box around it. I don't mind. Whatever you guys decide on that.
you can use like a pen to like make it darker.
Yes. Yes, you can do that. Yep. Be careful with a Sharpie though, because sometimes it bleeds to the back. So you don't want to maybe use that. But But yeah, however you want it to stand out. Don't underline it though, because you're only underlining your dress up words. So you don't want to underline your topic clincher words. That's separate. That's going to look different. But notice you've got all these dress ups here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. You got to make sure all 4 of those are in your paragraph. And then watch out for those banned words. Don't include those. You're not allowed to use those anymore. Okay, so you're writing one paragraph using this. And when you're done writing it, see if you have to fix it like I did. Go ahead and just fix it. Make sure that they repeat or reflect. I do want you guys to have sentences here, not scribbles. That was just to show you really quick. Okay. So make sure you write sentences. You guys have any questions about homework? Olivia?
On the checklist, what is a because clause?
Good question. So a because clause is using the word because. So later in your story, you're going to tell why something is the way it is. Like right here, people live near water because you can grow things with water, or because it's cooler, or because they need water to survive. So something like that, where you find a spot where you can tell why they do something. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So you're just basically going to use the word because in your sentence to tell why something. And Christopher?
I'm on computer, so how do I put a box around it?
Okay. Because do you like to type your work, Christopher, or do you like to handwrite it?
Type.
If you type, you don't have to put a box around it. Do you know how to highlight a word on the computer? Yeah, just do that. Okay. You don't have to put a box around it. Okay. Any other questions about the homework? Olivia?
What's the grammar homework?
The grammar homework is the next 3 pages in your grammar book. So that's going to be 82, 83, and 84.
Okay.
Yep. Any other questions? You guys are good with questions today. All right. So that you're going to write one paragraph and you're going to do your grammar. I was just looking at the chat. I missed your comment earlier. Okay, you guys, have a good one, and I'll see you next week.
Make sure you put the gingerbread house.